welcome to FountainFX on Wednesday the 23rd of April 2014. We're just doing a quick summary of the news that came out today. At 9 o'clock, key time, look at the euro. We had French flash manufacturing news, which was negative, so bad news for the euro. So we would expect the euro-US dollar to fall at 9 o'clock. At 9:30, however, we then had some positive news, ever so slightly positive news from the German. Their manufacturing PMI rose, so grew. So therefore that was relatively good, but it shows here neutral on that side. But then we've also got flash services PMI, and that was very positive. So we had some bad news for the French, followed by good news for the German half an hour later. Then we've sort of sat around all day with regards to the euro-US dollar, waiting until 4 o'clock and 4:30 for US dollar news, and we've had some negative news on home sales. So let's just see how that's panned out. We had negative euro news at 9 o'clock, positive euro news at 9:30, and then negative US dollar news at 4 o'clock. If we transfer over to the charts and see exactly what happened at those time frames. Hello and welcome to FountainFX on Wednesday the 23rd of April 2014. We're looking at the euro-US dollar on the 15-minute chart, and it's really just to highlight the impact of news on price change and price momentum. If we look here, we've got the European Open, or the early morning of the European start, where you've got an area of consolidation here, very much 5 points up and down, probably even less than that. And what happens is that as the market volatility starts to increase, we get a breakout, and if we'd have traded in that direction, we'd have made a nice 15-point trade in profit. Price then turns and then starts to reverse, starts to pull back from this uptrend, and at 9 o'clock we get a news release on the euro, and the result is it's very, very negative news. So we then see an increase in this downtrend. The momentum increases so much that we get a gap. Bearing in mind this is only a 15-minute chart, so we get a gap of around about 10 points as price starts to fall, and it pushes down quite considerably, but it pushes down into this area of support, this previous area of support where price had started to rally from. And at this point it's also an area where positive news comes out on the euro-US dollar. So this news was the French manufacturing PMI, which was negative, or worse than expected, and this is the German PMI, which is better than expected, followed by some other positive news which wasn't so significant, but it sort of culminated in an improvement in the perceived value of the euro. And we then see a clear bullish engulfing candlestick from this bearish candlestick. So we then see a distinct reversal in the direction of the price at that point in terms of the value of the euro, and price then rallies quite strongly all the way up from the 138 level all the way up to 138.50. So a 50-point move was caused at 9:30 this morning through to around about 11 o'clock. So in an hour and a half, 50 points was made on the market. The rest of the day it really sort of struggled and just bounced sideways, no real clear direction, until we get to 4 o'clock this afternoon, where negative news comes out on the euro, and on the US dollar, and all that's really happened is it did push the price in the direction expected, because it was bad for the dollar, good for the euro, pushes price back up. But all it's done is it's pushed price back up into this area of previous resistance, okay, here, and also with the momentum down here. So basically price just moves in that direction quickly, which then gives, it's almost like a gap. There's no real resistance behind it. So therefore, as soon as that move finishes, which is only 15 minutes long, we then get an immediate reversal of that upward momentum, and the direction in trend continues as it pushes price down. So here we were in an uptrend, and the negative news pulled the price back down to the start of the uptrend, pulled it back to support, Here we were in a downtrend and the negative news caused the price to pull back up to a previous area of resistance for price to then continue in that direction. So sometimes you can use this as an opportunity to, where you're seeing that price is moving in that particular trend, to actually be able to take a better entry to continue in that trend. Yeah, to be able to see that you could potentially sell there or sell there and get a better fill for this short, gives a greater opportunity for profit taking with less risk. Put my teeth back in. Similar thing here, being able to see that the prices are moving in that direction, to then see that there's an opportunity for this negative news to create a pullback, only for price to continue in that direction again. Another great area to look for and to wait for. When you see, certainly when you see a gap which shows a lot of momentum in one direction, you can guarantee that there should be a bounce back, and when there is a bounce back, it will go and certainly fill the gap, and it could continue on from there. And that's really what's happened here. We've had a gap fill happen, and prices then had the momentum upwards to keep pushing the price higher. And that's really it from FountainFX. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.